Hi, I'm Nikki Mary Fox. I'm a self-taught artist based in Austin, Texas. Welcome to my studio. Thank you for joining me. In this video, we will be talking about my 5 top tips for making your art unmistakably yours. Before we dive into my tips, I just want to let you know that I made you another painting process video as usual. It's at the end. I'll put the time on the screen so you can jump forward and check it out. You'll see me continue working on Half Dome over here, which I haven't finished. You know, being an artist mama to a very busy baby is quite an endeavor. So maybe I'll finish next week. We shall see. But I can promise you another painting video at least. If you're sticking around for the tips, go ahead and grab your favorite beverage. I have a ginger tea from the garden that is so good. Let's get comfortable and have a chat. How do you make your art recognizable? We are completely inundated with content every day on social media, and it is really tough as an artist to stand out and get noticed. There are thousands of images, videos, posts, all the things everywhere. Instagram, Pinterest, TikTok, Facebook, all the platforms. I started my journey not too long ago as a self-taught artist, and wow, I just had so many questions, and this was a big one. How do I stand out? So how do you make sure when people are scrolling that they don't just pass up your work without stopping by? How do you get them to stop and enjoy a little part of your world that you've shared with your work? You make it recognizable. You make it yours. I wish I had known the answer to this question when I first started my journey. I don't know if you know this, but I started with gold foil, and clearly I'm not really doing that so much anymore. Yeah, I sell gold foil still, and my designs are available, but lately I've been painting and making videos, as you can see, and it just warms my soul. I should have started here. I wanted to start here, but I didn't know how, and well, that's a story for another video probably. With this video, I'm going to answer for you one of my biggest questions, which is how do you make your art unmistakably yours? The most common answer I see is to be consistent. Sure, yeah, consistency is great. It's important. But how do you be consistent when there are thousands of decisions to make with every project, with every post? And we're talking about composition, color, style, mark making. What do you write about when you post your work? How do you photograph your work so that it looks consistent? There are so many questions to be answered, so many decisions to make, and especially when you're starting, it's hard to know the right answers to these questions. I think that the answer is to be yourself. You are the consistency that your work needs. The more you that you can put into your work, the more consistent it will be, and the more recognizable it will be. Here's how you do it. Tip number 1 is to celebrate. Celebrate who you are. Consider the creators that you know best. They are so loudly represented in their work. They are so clear in their message, in their style. You can't help but know who they are. Everything they create is an extension of themselves. And so our work must be too. You know who I'm talking about. You see them on Instagram, on TikTok, on Pinterest. You know their work, no matter how it's presented, it's theirs. It's kind of like a familiar voice. When you see someone's painting that you recognize, it's just like hearing their voice. They can be talking about something they've never talked about before, and you would know it was them. They're exercising their voice in a way that is uniquely and distinctly theirs. The more of you that you can imbue in your work, the more recognizable it will be. This is about settling into your skin, about expressing and celebrating your true self. Celebrate your preferences, express your imagination, and let loose. Exploration is a part of every artist's journey. So don't worry if your style changes or you want to work with a different color palette. The key is to be true to what you want to create, and you will naturally create a trend in your own work that makes it cohesive. Just keep creating. Tip number 2 is to tell your story. It is so much easier to create if you are documenting your process and sharing what you really think and feel, as opposed to just trying to present something that is branded. When you are an artist, you are your brand. So tell your story. It makes your work unique and identifiable as yours and no one else's. Don't hold back if there's a medium you feel drawn to. You should try it. Just like I finally tried painting. Wow. I thought that I would like it, but I never knew that I would fall in love with it. And when you fall in love with what you're creating, you start to tell your story in more and more beautiful ways. It's true that telling your story leaves you a bit vulnerable, and you might not be ready for that. So ask yourself what it would take to get ready to share your story in your work. I think that when I first started painting, I had the fear that I couldn't translate what I had in my head to canvas, but with practice and learning more art skills, I found that I could, and it was even better than I imagined. And now I need to paint. I need to do it for my soul, and it feels so good to tell my story in this way. Tip number 3 is to reflect on your work. Once you've created something, it's really important to look upon it and ask yourself, does this feel like me? The consistency you need in making your art recognizable comes from exercising your creative voice. This includes everything that you imagine, everything that you want to create, and the way that you want to create it. If you're creating with the intention of fitting into trends or popular goods, you're probably going to lose some of yourself in the process. And it's going to be a lot harder to create a cohesive body of work because you're not honoring your own decisions. You are honoring what you think other people will like, and it just gets a lot harder to create with the freedom that you need to establish yourself as a maker. It's a worthy creation whether or not you were totally true to yourself, because in this way we practice our new skills and existing skills in a way that really develops our process. However, it's really important to honor who we are when we create, and we do that by telling our story and making sure that our work reflects our story. Then our work becomes unmistakable because everything we've created is a part of ourselves. So ask your friends, ask your family, is your work recognizable? And what makes it recognizable to them? Are there repeating elements that they associate with you? If you like those elements that they discuss, then keep repeating them because they're awesome. They're you. This is another way that you'll help build consistency with your work. Tip number 4 is to infuse your work with you. You might think that this is the same as everything else that I've discussed, but it's more of an extension. Here I'm talking about presenting your work. In every regard, your work should reflect you. Yes, there are a lot of decisions to make, but when you become cognizant of all the things you're choosing, you start really developing your creative voice. So how are you photographing your art? How are you presenting it? If we were chefs, we would be talking about how you plate your food, what your restaurant looks like, how you greet your clients as they come in. But we're artists, so instead we ask, what do you write about when you post? What's in the photograph with your work? Do you frame your work? Do you varnish your work? How do you present your work to the world? Whatever you choose is the right thing, so long as you are true to your own creative voice. When we infuse our work with our creative voice, it becomes so much easier to make our work unmistakable. This is one of the reasons why I changed my website platform. I started on WordPress and I just could not get it to fit what I thought was a beautiful website suited to my brand. And I needed another platform that really showcased my work in a way that exhibited my creative voice. So think about how you're presenting your work and whether the platform is serving you, because it may be that you need to change something in your process in order to support your creative voice. Tip number 5 is to share. Share your creative voice. The world needs you and your work, not a duplicate of someone else. Don't worry about the trends, set the trends. Be an artist and celebrate who you are. Infuse your work and share it. You have a voice that is interesting and wonderful, and people want to hear it. People want to see what you have to make. So get out there and share what you're making. Sharing your art means you can help build our community and raise your voice and make something beautiful. Let me know in the comments what you're creating. I want to hear your voice. I wish I had had someone tell me that when I started my journey, to just be true to myself and not worry about what else is going on in the world. Now that I am finally sharing my true creative voice, I feel so inspired and encouraged and just supported in our community. The feedback has been amazing, and that's thanks to you, my foxes. That concludes my 5 top tips for making your art unmistakably yours. I really hope that that was helpful. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions, and stick around. The painting video is about to start. Like, subscribe, and thank you so much for joining me. Stay foxy.